Hey there guys, Leon Mooky here, and I'm back with another part of What If Izuku Had Archer's Powers. This is part 33. In the last part, Izuku, Momo, and Mirio met with Overhaul and also Eri as well. Not only that, they also found out that Overhaul was using Eri to create the quirk erasing bullets. With that, everyone in Class 1A, alongside Mirio, Izuku, and Momo, vowed to save her, with now preparing for the raid against the Shie Hassaikai. So, with that said, let's get into this, shall we guys? As everybody prepares to attack the Shie Hasaikai's headquarters, with Izuku being determined to wanting to take down Overhaul and his Yakuza clan as well, with soon as everyone prepares to attack. As usual, the members of the Hassaikai try to attack the heroes as usual and the police, with many of the other heroes, just like in canon, would stall them and try their best to take them down. With soon they finally enter, as Bubble Girl and Centipede, just like before, would also stall a couple other of the villains as well. However, because of Sir Night-Eye having the encounter with one of the stooges of the Hassaikai, he doesn't know about the combination to get down to the lower floors. But knowing this, Jikotsu basically says, "Archer, get over here. I'm going to need your help." Is saying, "What do you need? Use one of your swords or other weapons to actually help me. That's all." Is saying, "Oh, of course." As he brings out Mordred's sword, with soon Jikotsu having one of his portals and a golden sword also comes out as well, with then him pulling it out, saying, "Now with one strike," as they bring down their swords onto the wooden floor, as then a staircase was soon opened up in front of them, with then everyone wondered, "Wait, how did you?" I figured a place like this, having so many villains coming in and out, it only makes sense that there would be an underground facility, of course. So, are you all ready or not? After hearing this, everybody nodded, with rushing down. Not only that, because of the raid being a lot more earlier than it would be in canon, Overhaul doesn't have the perfect, badge of the quirk erasing bullets just yet, because during this time, Overhaul had a lot more time to perfect them. Now because of this, Overhaul, who was unaware of the attack about to happen, Overhaul would still try to rush production of trying to get the perfect batch, which would actually cause Eri a lot more pain during this time, while trying to get to her as soon as possible, unfortunately. But just like before, Mimic would still try using a quirk enhancement drug to get to disorient everybody trying to reach down to the lower levels, and also still use Twice and Toga to help out during this time. Not only that, they would also have Medusa as well to help out too. However, just like before, Toga, Twice, and also Medusa would only be working with them to sabotage them and try to see if they can get their hands on some of the quirk erasing bullets and any quirk enhancement drugs as well for the League. Just as Mimic was messing with everybody, Mirio would still go on ahead to try and save Eri as fast as he can. With that, soon Sir Night-Eye, not wanting one of his proteges to go on his own, soon Jikotsu would also tag along, saying that he'll keep an eye on the idiot as fast as he can, as he busts through wall after wall, trying to catch up with his fellow Big Three member as well. With that, just like before, Tamaki would still be facing against the three members of the 8 Bullets as usual, being Hojo, Setsuno, and Tabe as before. As just like as usual, Tamaki Sun Eater would still edge out a win, facing against the 3 expendable members of the 8 Bullets. With soon after, the group of the heroes and police officers would still be separated just like they would in canon, with Izuku, Momo, Aizawa, Rocklock, Fat Gum, and Kirishima would still be separated from, well, Sir Night-Eye and also a couple other of the police officers as well, with the first group being Group A, facing against Toga as usual, with Rocklock still getting wounded and Toga taking form, with after this saying, "I'm glad that you're okay, Izuku," saying, "Wait a minute, thanks Rocklock." After saying this, he soon generates Bakuya as he blocks a knife from the imposter Knight Rocklock, as it soon takes the form of Himiko Toga, as Izuku is surprised seeing this, with soon after blushing like crazy, screaming, "Himiko Toga!" as saying, "I can't believe you remember my name. I'm so happy." With soon hers trying to stab Izuku, with him dodging and also blocking each one of her knife attacks at him with his one singular short sword. Soon after this, Momo soon steps in with creating her own knife as well. After this, Toga was able to block, Momo's attack, as she's saying, "What the hell are you trying to do? Getting my way with my time with Izuku?" After hearing this, Momo couldn't help but get a little bit infuriated, with her soon saying, "Sorry, but Izuku Midoriya is already taken." With saying this, she soon pulls a trigger on her knife. As soon the blade begins feeling electrified. After that, Toga begins feeling a lot more shocks around her body before collapsing on the ground. Soon after seeing this, Aizawa saw this as the perfect opportunity to capture Toga. However, Toga, still able to move her body somewhat, was able to dodge Aizawa's capture scarf as well, and then Mimic soon giving her a way out. With that, Izuku saying, "Damn it, I thought we had her." With then Aizawa saying, "She's a lot more tricky than expected." Guess what? It's what we expect from Himiko Toga's bio after all. With that, soon, unlike Toga, who was a lot more giddy like in canon seeing Izuku, she's a lot more pissed that Momo's here and got in her way with her alone time with Izuku after all. A couple minutes before that, Kirishima and Fat Gum would still be fighting against Rampa and Tengu, just like as usual, with soon Kirishima still having a sense of weakness and a sense of unable to live up to his ideas and strength, just like he would in canon. However, just like before, he would still find that strength to keep on would still fighting against Rampa and Tengu as well, with soon Fat Gum, just like before in canon, would still deal the blow to win the fight, to edge out the victory against them. Soon after, Sir Night-Eye would still fight against Twice and the copy of Rampo, just like as usual, and take him down with no sweats whatsoever. With that, Twice would still get his mask half his mask ripped off, and still go through a sense of, mental meltdown. With soon, it isn't Toga who helps out, Twice. Instead, it's Medusa, with her actually waiting, with soon saying, "You have to get a hold of yourself, Genie." Or should I say Twice? "I know that you can't be a hold of yourself because you feel like you're not the real you. Even so, you're still valued to the League, to all of us. so get a hold of yourself. We still have to avenge Magnus' death after all. Isn't that right, Toga? Soon after, Toga appears just before. After that, the three of them soon aggravate Mimic as usual, as giving in to his rage and anger issues as ever. With that, Izuku would still find a way to take down Mimic, but this time, instead of just using shoot style, he would actually use reinforce Bakuya and Kenshiro and turn them into his double saber forms of them, as he begins generating powerful winds that cuts through the entirety of the building, where soon he finds out where Mimic is, and then bringing out Caliburn, and then striking at that spot, finally catching Mimic, and soon, and not only that, notice that the League of Villains members just let him fall. With that, Izuku was able to catch him before then. Just as usual, they would try to get information from the general manager of the Shie Hassaikai. However, unable to due to him being enraged and the side effect of the quirk enhancement drug as well. Soon after, just like before, Mirio was able to catch up with Overhaul and Chromostasis, just like in canon. However, Jikotsu was right behind him as usual, but he would still need to catch up a little bit further, knowing that he's not as fast as Mirio though, especially since he's wearing a big bulky armor and running at the same time as well, making him a lot more tired. However, just like in canon, Mirio would still be able to defeat Sakaki just like as easily as he would, even while still under the effect of his quirk being sloshed. Soon after, Overhaul, Chronostasis, and Shin finally finished with Eri and also bandaged her up just like they would in canon. Since the process was rushed, they still didn't really get the finished product of the quirk erasing bullets though. However, the batch was still strong enough to basically prevent somebody to use their quirk for an entire month instead of forever, like originally in canon. Soon after, they realize that they're kind of out of time and that they need to get out of here as soon as possible, as Shin soon comes through the door with Chronostasis grabbing Eri and carrying her somewhere. However, Mirio soon shows up and was about to attack and already planned on attacking each and every one of them, as he finally grabs Eri and saying, "Don't worry, Eri." As Mirio was about to say, "We're here to save you," he was soon caught off by Jikotsu, who was right behind him and was already sending a couple of swords to pin Shin, Chronostasis, and Overhaul as well to the ground and walls. With soon Mirio saying, "True King, don't run off like that again, idiot. It's hard to run with when I'm wearing a huge plate of armor after all." And as he soon walks up to his friend and says, "Well, so this is the girl, huh?" As he soon looks at her, saying, "It looks like they were already experimenting on her." As then a couple other golden portals begin to appear around them, saying, "You got it. The three of you have at least 3 minutes before I start sending a barrage of blades, spears, axes, and a number of amounts of different weapons at all of you. So you better start explaining yourselves and giving us what we need." With soon Shin reading, Jikotsu's mind and saying he's not playing Overhaul. He really does want information now. After hearing this, both Overhaul saying, "Damn it, damn you heroes, getting in my way, getting in our way. How dare you? Give Eri back now!" After hearing this, Chikotsu saying, well, he really is in bloodlust mode, with telling Mirio to leave with Eri as fast as he can, get back to the others as soon as possible. With Mirio saying, I can't just leave you here. You're not. You're getting back up. Got it? And making sure she's safe. So go now. With that, Mirio soon takes Eri and leave with Chikotsu, the first head of the big three, taking on the three remaining members of the Shie Hassaikai. With soon, Overhaul finally using his glove to disintegrate the sword that was pinning him to the ground on his jacket, and then rushes at the golden armor hero in training, with multiple blades and swords and spears sending flying, with Overhaul dodging each and every one of them. Within, Shin actually finally pulling out his gun and tried to shoot Chikotsu. However, Chikotsu put a portal right in front of him, absorbing the bullet like it was nothing. Before he realized it, Overhaul was already close to Chikotsu as he stepped back as soon as possible, but Overhaul put his hand through the portal. However, nothing happened. With that, Overhaul stepped back, disassembling and reassembling the ground, creating tons of spikes towards him as well. With that, Chikotsu basically bust out a shield that was about to protect him, but barely, with soon sending out a barrage of more weapons at them. However, this time, Chronostasis soon comes in as well, with him extending his hair just like he would as usual, but using his, cloak jacket as a way to conceal his quirk. However, Chikotsu was about to dodge, but it was too late as his body was slowing down and began freezing, and he felt like he couldn't even move at all. He was saying, damn it, I can't believe I got caught in that. With soon Overhaul saying, it's heroes like you who are so full of yourself and have quirks like this that you think that you're unbeatable, untouchable. Newsflash, you're the very definition of sickness that I can't stand. And because of that, I'll make you pay. With soon, Overhaul was about to touch the blonde-haired hero. With soon, for some reason, Chikotsu couldn't help but have his whole life flash before his eyes, as he was a kid who was raised by a rich and wealthy family that couldn't help but want for nothing more. He basically could have everything at his fingertips and not complain about it. However, there was one thing he wanted: actual love for once, due to his family being forced together by a quirk marriage as usual. Just like Shoto, as they wanted a child that can inherit their huge empire and also become a well-known hero that they can even gain more wealth. However, Chikotsu didn't want this. He didn't want any of this. So, when he finally awoken his quirk, it was uncontrollable, unusable than anything, as they saw him as nothing but a failure as a hero. Because of this, Chikotsu didn't see himself as useful for anything. Throughout his entire life, people only saw him as a rich boy that can get away with anything, or that can do anything. Because of this, he seemed arrogant as usual, until he actually got into UA. But by paying his way into the hero course without even applying for the entrance exam. As soon as he soon entered UA, he soon meets a blonde-haired boy with a cartoonish face, being Mirio, and his friend. Tamaki Amajigi, as he didn't see the boy wanting him for his money or just want to be friends with him because of his status. He just saw a person just wanting to make friends, generally. Not only that, finding out that his quirk was uncontrollable or seemed useless just like his, he couldn't help but relate to him, seeing him as his one true and only friend, and the only person that can understand him deeply. As the two worked hard to understand their quirks and to become true heroes, with the tutelage of Sir Night-Eye by their side. With that, they felt ready for anything that can come their way. However, it seems like that dream would come to an end. Before realizing it, soon a blast, 2 arrows soon was sent flying. One exploded, while the other created a huge sonic sound wave that basically disoriented everybody nearby, even Jikotsu himself. Before realizing it, he was soon grabbed by Izuku as the blonde-haired armored hero in training was surprised, saying, "Midoriya, you came. I guess Miria was able to get to you in time." Saying, "Yeah, he did, but we're still not out of the woods yet. There's still plenty of fighting on the surface. Right now, Miria was trying to get Eri somewhere safe. And at the same time, we're going to do the same for you." Saying, "Don't bother. I'm out of commission. I was hit by chronostasis' quirk. I can't move my body at all right now. And it also means I can't even use my quirk either. I don't control my quirk of my mind. I can control it with only finger movement, and that's it. But if I can't move that, if I can't move my fingers, I can't use my quirk." With that, Izuku saying, "I get it." With soon catching up with Sir Night-Eye and also Aizawa as well, as Momo was able to catch up with Izuku, but barely, with soon Aizawa saying, "Midoriya, is everything?" We were able to disorient them, but Chisaki, Chronostasis, and also Nomoto as well, we were able to get the drop on them with our arrow shots. However, I don't think it's gonna last long. After saying this, all 3 of them the sonic wave that was disorienting them finally stopped. With soon, Overhaul is had enough, as he is undeniably downright pissed, as his anger has boiled to the point of uncontrollable. With soon, as he grabs Shin, and soon Shin saying, "But sir, Overhaul, Kai, stop! What are you doing?" As then he disassembles him and then absorbs him into his body. With soon Chronostasis saying, "Kai, what I've done? I'm going to destroy them all. I'm going to get Eri back and destroy this entire infected society." As then he goes to Chronostasis saying, "Kai, stop this. You have to stop." With soon Chronostasis screams in agony, that can be heard throughout the entirety of the corridor. Hearing this freaks out everybody. With then huge ice spikes begin to emerge all over the area, as a couple of the walls begin caving in on each other a couple of times. With now there's nothing but rubble all over. With soon after, Izuku looks around, trying to see where everyone's at, as he tries seeing where Momo is, but all he sees is Kai Chisaki, with enraged, as Izuku saying, he's really trying to kill us all. I mean, I faced against tons of villains that wanted to kill, but his bloodlust, it's deeper than even stains, and even more bloodthirstier than muscular. He's really wants to kill all of us. Soon Izuku finally stands up as his blood is on his left arm, with his shoulder guard already actually chipped apart. With soon Izuku looks around, realizing that everybody is kind of out of commission, thinking that he's the only one up, with realizing, I have no choice. I have to. As he's soon thinking, I'm afraid. I am definitely afraid of what I could do if I could kill them. But I'm willing to take that risk. I'm willing to bear that sin and burden. If it means saving Eri, if it means protecting everyone here. Not only that, I'll do what's necessary to put an end to this. As soon Overhaul rushes at Izuku, with Izuku activating at least 10% of One For All Full Cow, with him bringing out Gawain's Excalibur, as he sends a fiery shockwave right at the mutated Overhaul, with Overhaul creating a rock wall, as it does protect him. But soon Izuku creates two Bakia swords and tosses them right at him, and they begin to explode. With that, Izuku saying, now's my chance, as he begins to chant and saying, I am the bone of my sword, steel is my body, and fire is my blood. I have created over 1,000 blades, unaware of loss, nor aware of gain, withstood pain to create weapons, waiting for one's arrival. I have no regrets. This is my only path. My whole life was unlimited. Blade Wars! After this, soon a field of blades begin to emerge all over, however, the field is encased in that of ice, with soon snow begins to fall down, as soon Overhaul saying, what is this? With Izuku's green hair and what's left of it begins turning more and more into white, with only a little bit of it left. With then, multiple blades began coming out, as he soon sends them flying right at Overhaul, as Overhaul tries to deconstruct and reconstruct around him. However, every time he tries, it's impossible. Thinking as he what's going on? Why? As the blades begins cutting him while flying around, slicing him to shreds, as he begins screaming in agony. With that, Izuku saying, this is my world, my state of mind. Normally this place turns into a grassy meadow with the sun shining down on us, but now it's a field of snow, with the snow falling down on us. I can't say why it's like this, but I can only give it a guess. It's because I'll do whatever it takes to save Eri and protect my friends and everyone else here from you. Was saying, you damn brat, you're nothing but a sickness that needs to be. Before he gets finished, soon another blade was already cuts off one of his multiple arms, with him screaming out in pain, with Izuku's arm already up, within materializing Masamune in his hands, as then he soon activates one for all, full cow, as he realized, even if my body can't take it, me using both unlimited blade works and one for all at the same time, I don't give a damn. I'm going to put an end to this right here and now, as he rushes to the young master of this Yakuza gang, as he slices him apart piece by piece, even as Overhaul tries his best to hit Izuku, but it's impossible with Izuku moving too fast for him. But he was able to disassemble himself in his arms. As Izuku saw this, he soon his arms began taking normal forms, as then one of them actually hit Izuku as he was about to attack him. With then, Overhaul was about to strike at Izuku again, with then disassembling his legs as they began to get a little bit bigger, as he rushes right at Izuku. Before Izuku could realize it, he was already in front of him, about to punch him. However, Izuku, for a split second, created his Sakura shield, but it was destroyed just like that, instantly, with Izuku sent a little bit flying. With that, Overall saying, a brat like you needs to die, needs to be purged from this world. You are nothing but sickness, each and every one of you. And to do that, I'll start with you. As Izuku struggles to get up, for some reason he creates Kenshiro, as then he also begins reinforcing it. After that, it doesn't take the form of his wing longsword or even a part of his double saber, but it takes the form of his bayonet, with soon Izuku firing it at Overhaul. However, nothing comes out of it, as Izuku saying, what the? Why am I even trying using this thing again? As soon Overhaul saying, what's the matter, kid? Never used a gun before? As Overhaul rushed right at Izuku once more, as he screams out, why won't you fire? With soon, many of the nearby swords, spears, blade axes, and other weapons began flying into the bayonet gun, as then Izuku actually fired it with a blast, with a light beam coming out as it rushes to Overhaul, as he's soon pierced by it. With then Overhaul saying, is that all you got? I feel. Before he stopped for a bit, as all those weapons began bursting out of his body, just like that. Is soon Izuku saying, so that's how it works. Unlike before, where I stored all of unlimited blade works into both of them, I have to absorb them in this world if I want to use them in here. As soon Overhaul goes to his knees. However, instead of passing out from the pain, he actually pulls out each and every one of the blades and spears out of his body, with Izuku saying, that's insane! How the hell are you? Before realizing it, he soon disassembled and reassembled his body again, was saying, you gotta be kidding me. Even if I did bring out all those weapons, all he'd be doing, he can just reassemble his body like it's nothing. With soon Izuku saying, fine then. As then he brings out Bakia, reinforces that into the second bayonet gun, as then he absorbs many other weapons into it, with bringing other weapons into Kenshiro as well, as he points them right at Overhaul, saying, I may hate using these things and I despise them with every passion in my body, but if it means putting an end to you, and keeping Aries safe, then so be it! As Overhaul soon rushes at Izuku as fast as he can, with Izuku firing tons of shots right at Overhaul, with soon as he's being pierced with spear and blade, axes, and tons of other weapons over and over and over again, but still keeps on moving forward while disassembling and reassembling his body, with Izuku still pelting him down as Overhaul begins slowing down from each and every weapon that's coming in and out of his body, with Izuku saying, "Now's my chance," as he ditches both his guns and then creates Excalibur, as soon he channels almost all of One for All into the blade, but not just into the one in his hands, as multiple Caliburns begin to appear above Izuku. With that, Izuku as what's left of his green hair begins turning completely white, and what's left of his green eye begins turning a golden hazel as well, with soon as his entire skin was also turns darkish as well, with Izuku screaming out, "One for all, Excalibur!" As then a blade of light soon comes down, with small other blades of light coming down as well, with soon Overhaul being overwhelmed by the blast and is engulfed by it. As even Izuku is engulfed by the blast as well, but instead, like before, where he got swept up by it, due to him being unable to control it, he still stands his ground, but his hero costume does get somewhat destroyed from it. With soon, Unlimited Blade Works begins to fade, as everybody soon finally comes to their senses after the fight is over. With looking all over, everyone sees Overhaul unconscious and completely battered and bruised by the blast. With not only that, Izuku still standing his ground with half of his costume basically scorched off, and with not only that, multiple swords coming out of his back, just like before, with Momo actually seeing this and running to Izuku. As she gets a lot closer, she couldn't help but put her hands on her mouth, with her eyes widen, as she begins crying, as she heard about what happened to Izuku during the summer camp but didn't see it. But now seeing the boy she loves almost impaled by his very quirk is still standing, but terrified on what could happen to him. With that, the fight finally ends. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Also, like and comment and subscribe, which really helps out the channel a lot. Also, check out my gaming channel and my Discord. Links will be in the description below. With that said, this is Mooky, signing out. Later, guys.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell, and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!